What is going on, guys? Justin Schollard here, owner of Carbon Fitness Method, and I want to make this quick little video training on how to burn fat without losing muscle, right? So for a long time, I struggled with this because I would go into these like crazy bulking phases where I'd, eat 3,000-4,000 calories a day, put on like 15 to 25 pounds. And then, of course, you get puffy and you don't like the way you look anymore. Then you want to lean out. And then I would just cut my calories and lose the 20 pounds that I had just spent months and months gaining. And then, a year goes by and I was the same, right? So I figured it out over the years, and I wanted to make this quick training for you guys so that you don't have to struggle the same way that I did, and you guys can just get the cheat code. For those of you who don't know me, I've owned a couple of gyms here in Los Angeles. Best-selling author of Winning the War on Weight Loss, and currently run a 12-week lean muscle camp in West Hollywood, where we don't do cardio or boot camps. It's just like strength training, progressive overload weights. If you're interested, you can let me know if you want more information on that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this training, shall we? Okay, so step number one, guys. We got to get control of your calorie intake. Now, this is one thing that everybody has such a problem with, right? Like, I don't want to track my macros. I want to have to weigh my food. And I get that. But at the end of the day, what gets measured gets managed. And if we just don't know, and maybe some days you're eating 1,000 calories, other days you're eating 3,000 calories, it's just all over the place. And it's going to be really hard for you to ever see any noticeable change until you get serious about your calories. So you want to just really get clear first, and here's how we want to do that. You're going to spend a week, what we call just data collection week, okay? So just spend 1 week eating normally and just document everything you eat inside of like MyFitnessPal or really any calorie tracker. That's just an app you can download, right? So just get good at like, what did I have? Did I have 3 eggs and toast with butter on it? And then did I have, tacos for lunch, or just whatever you eat? Just spend a week tracking your calories inside of any kind of calorie tracker. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take that 7-day average, right? So let's say one day you had 1,500, the next day you had 2,500, so your average would be 2 in that scenario, right? So you're just going to take your 7 days, add them all up, and then divide it by 7, and then whatever that number is, take 10 to 20% deficit, right? So, or 15 to 20% deficit. So for example, like let's say your 7-day average was about 3,000 calories a day. In that case, a good 20% cut from that would land you around 2,400 calories a day. That would be a great start. Like if your body's used to eating 3,000 a day and you cut down to 24, that would be a fantastic starting point for you to create a nice deficit. Cool? Then what you're going to want to do is make sure that you're consistent, guys. Like, you can't be the person who's good Monday through Friday, but then blows it on the weekends, thinking that you're balanced, that it's 80-20. It doesn't work. I've been a coach and a trainer for 20 years. I'm telling you, that doesn't work. You can do some serious damage over the weekends, and if you don't control for your calories 7 days a week, then you're just going to be stuck in that vicious cycle where you're just never going to get the results that you want. So be consistent. 7 days a week, hit those numbers, okay? Cool. Great. So step 2, we got to eat enough protein, okay? So this is a really, really important part. Protein's hard to get in. It really is. Like, the studies show, clinical research is showing that for us to maintain our muscle, for protein synthesis to be at its peak, we're looking at around 0.7 grams per pound of body weight at least, okay? So what that means is that if you're a 200-pound person, you want to go 200 times 0.7, that's going to land you at about 150 grams of protein per day, okay? So what does that mean? In our previous example, we had that 2,400 calorie hypothetical, right? So we know that there's 4 calories in 1 gram of protein. So 150 grams is going to be 600 calories. That's going to leave you with 1,800 calories left, right? So if we had 2,400 calories total for the day, 150 of them or 600 of them is coming from protein. Then we have 1,800 calories left that you're just going to divide between carbohydrates and fats. So an example of that would be 150 grams of protein a day, 250 grams of carbohydrates, and 80 grams of fat. That would be a fantastic macronutrient distribution to get started with. So what you're going to want to do is just do that math, figure out where your starting point is, spend a week just weighing in every morning, just seeing how those numbers actually work for you. And then if you find that you're not losing weight and you're hitting those numbers consistently, then maybe drop it down another 10%. So maybe you then would want to go down to 2,150 calories. And then you can just adjust your carbohydrate and fat down slightly from there. Okay, does that make sense? Cool. Now, step number 3, ditch the cardio and focus on weight training. Remember, we're here to preserve your muscle tissue. So it's a big misconception, a big misnomer that you think that cardio is going to save you or cardio is going to burn all this fat. But think about it. You can run for 20 minutes straight and burn 200 calories. It's nothing, right? That's like a protein bar, or that's like a beer. And now all of a sudden that 200 calories is right back on you. So don't think that you're going to out-train this thing. No amount of cardio is going to fix a poor diet. If you're consistently at that 20% deficit, that's what's going to move the needle in your weight loss, not more cardio. So don't make the mistake of thinking that you can just run on a treadmill every day and you're going to all of a sudden get shredded like this guy. You want to focus on weight training, right? You got to keep your muscles pumped up, got to keep pushing through those reps while consuming at least 0.7 grams of protein per pound of body weight, and that's what's going to preserve muscle tissue while you let the diet do its work and pull the body fat off, right? So you want to spend your time training with weights, not on cardio. An example would be something like this, right? Plan on hitting the gym or hitting the weights. If you're like me and you just have your weights in your office, then you can just work out at home. But if you go to the gym, that's cool too. But plan on hitting the weights 3 times a week at least. Now I do 4. That for me that's comfortable, but 3 is a minimum. An example would look something like day 1 would be like a push. So any exercises we want to do with a push, like chest, shoulder press, arms, like triceps, and then you want to throw some squats and lunges in there as well. Take a break. Day 2 would be a pull. So like pull-ups, rows, bicep curls, deadlifts, hamstring curls, that kind of thing. And then day 3, make it like a full body. If you only can get in 3 times a week, then make the day 3 a full body where you do 3 sets of chest, 3 sets of back, 3 sets of bis and tris, 3 sets of shoulders, and then 3 sets of squats or lunges, just so you hit every muscle group twice in a week. That would be a great starting point for you, okay? And last but not least, guys, step 4, get a daily step goal going, okay? The reason we want to do this is it establishes a baseline of activity. So what happens when we start cutting calories? Well, our body's used to eating 3,000 or something, and then all of a sudden we're down to 2,400. You might find that your energy levels are a little bit lower, and you might find that you move a little bit less because your body is trying to compensate for the lack of calories you're consuming by getting you to move less. So a good way to mitigate that and make sure you don't compensate for your lack of calories through less activity is just establishing a daily step goal. 10,000 steps is great. That's recommended, but that's work, 10,000 steps is tough. I mean, that could mean 45 minutes to an hour of walking outside every day, and a lot of people don't have that luxury. So, but anything's better than nothing. So even if you just got out and did 5,000 steps a day, but you did it every day as a baseline, fantastic. That's something. But to give you perspective, 10,000 steps burns about 300 calories a day. So that tends to be about a pound of fat loss every 10 days. So if you did hit 10,000 steps a day, that means that's like an extra 3 pounds of fat a month just from that baseline of stepping every day. So it really does add up over time. And the cool thing about stepping is that it's not aggressive cardio. It's just low intensity. So it's not going to burn up any muscle tissue. It's just going to slowly peel off body fat while you can preserve your muscle tissue by eating that protein and hitting the weights. All right, guys, so there we go. Hope that helps. If you want more information, there's a link below to jump in my Facebook group, and I post all kinds of fun videos in there all the time, and I will keep you posted when the next 12-week group starts. So keep your eyes peeled on your email, and I will see you soon.